Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Let's get started. Marty Feldman, the unforgettable comedy genius. In the vast world of comedy, there have been many iconic figures, but few have possessed the unique charm, wit, and unmistakable appearance of Marty Feldman. With his bulging eyes, sharp humor, and brilliant comedic timing, Feldman carved out a place for himself in the entertainment industry that remains legendary to this day. But behind the laughter was a man whose journey was filled with struggles, determination, and a relentless passion for making people smile. Born on July 8, 1934 in London, Martin Allen Feldman was the son of Jewish immigrants. His early years were shaped by the challenges of growing up in a working-class family in the shadow of World War II. From a young age, Marty was drawn to humor, using it as a shield against adversity and as a way to navigate the complexities of life. He was not a conventional child, often rebellious and uninterested in traditional schooling. His passion lay elsewhere. He wanted to make people laugh. A life-altering condition. One of Marty Feldman's most recognizable traits was his distinctive bulging eyes. Many assumed it was a result of genetics, but in reality it was caused by Graves' disease, a thyroid condition that altered his appearance permanently. Instead of allowing this to hinder him, Feldman embraced his unique look and turned it into one of his greatest comedic assets. His eyes became his signature, adding an exaggerated element to his performances that made him instantly memorable. The early years in entertainment. Before stepping into the limelight as a performer, Marty Feldman's first successes came behind the scenes as a writer. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, he was part of Britain's thriving comedy scene, working as a writer for radio and television. He collaborated with some of the greatest minds in British comedy, penning scripts for hit shows like The Frost Report, which also helped launch the careers of John Cleese, Ronnie Barker, and Ronnie Corbett. Feldman's writing was sharp, surreal, and often filled with unexpected twists, elements that would later define his own performance style. But despite his success as a writer, he longed to be on stage, performing the words he crafted so carefully. Becoming a star. In 1968, his breakthrough came when he starred in his own television series, Marty, which showcased his bizarre, exaggerated style of humor. The show was an instant hit, earning him 2 BAFTA awards and solidifying his place as one of Britain's most unique comedic talents. His ability to twist his facial expressions and use his body language for maximum comedic effect made him unlike anyone else in the industry. His performances were often compared to those of silent film stars like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, physical, expressive, and deeply engaging. Feldman had a rare ability to command attention without saying a single word. His face alone could tell an entire story, filled with absurdity, mischief, and pure comedic brilliance. Breaking into Hollywood. With his growing reputation in the UK, it was only a matter of time before Hollywood took notice. In 1974, Feldman got his big break in the United States when he was cast in Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein as the unforgettable Igor, pronounced Igor. The film was an instant classic, and Feldman's performance was one of its standout elements. His comedic timing, hilarious one-liners, and signature deadpan delivery made him an audience favorite. "You take the blonde, I'll take the one in the turban," became one of the film's most quoted lines, showcasing his effortless comedic brilliance. With Young Frankenstein, Marty Feldman was no longer just a British comedian, he was a Hollywood star. But as his career soared, so did the pressures of fame. Beneath the laughter and success, there were struggles and challenges that threatened to derail his journey. Marty Feldman, the unforgettable comedy genius. As Marty Feldman stepped into the dazzling world of Hollywood, he was no longer just a brilliant British comedian. He was now an international sensation. His breakout role as Igor in Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein, 1974, cemented his place in cinematic history. His bulging eyes, impeccable timing, and absurd yet intelligent humor made him stand out in an era dominated by comedic greats. But while the world laughed at his antics on screen, behind the scenes, Feldman was a man burdened by deep struggles, unshakable ideals, and a relentless pursuit of artistic integrity. Hollywood and the price of fame. After the massive success of Young Frankenstein, the doors of Hollywood swung wide open for Marty Feldman. Studios saw him as a unique comedic force, capable of breathing life into any role he played. But rather than taking every opportunity that came his way, Feldman was selective. He was not just a performer, he was an artist with a strong sense of what comedy should be. In 1976, he starred in Silent Movie, another Mel Brooks film, where he played one of the three main characters in a nearly wordless comedy. Once again, his physical humor stole the show, proving that he didn't need dialogue to make audiences roar with laughter. Becoming a leading man. Encouraged by his success, Feldman took a bold step into directing. He wanted to create his own vision of comedy, one that was as surreal and subversive as the work he had admired growing up. In 1977, he directed and starred in the last remake of Beau Geste, a parody of the classic adventure film Beau Geste. While it had moments of brilliance, the film struggled at the box office. Hollywood was not yet ready for Feldman's brand of experimental comedy, and the experience left him frustrated. Undeterred, he tried again in 1980 with In God We Trust, a satire on religious corruption in America. The film featured big names, including Richard Pryor and Peter Boyle, but it failed to resonate with audiences. Feldman's refusal to compromise his comedic style meant that his work often challenged mainstream expectations, sometimes to his own detriment. A man of convictions. Feldman was not just a comedian, he was a man of principles. He was outspoken about his political beliefs, deeply critical of censorship, and a fierce advocate for creative freedom. He once said, "Comedy, if it's good, should make people uncomfortable." This belief guided his work, but it also made his Hollywood career more difficult. Studios wanted safe, marketable comedy, while Feldman wanted to push boundaries. His unique outlook also extended to his personal life. Despite his fame, he was known for his humility and his aversion to Hollywood's artificial glamour. He remained deeply devoted to his wife, Loretta Sullivan, whom he had married in 1959. Their relationship was a rare example of stability in an industry filled with fleeting romances. The final days and tragic end. By the early 1980s, Feldman was still active in the industry, but his career was not as meteoric as it had been in the mid-70s. He had moved to Mexico to film Yellowbeard 1983, a comedy adventure starring Monty Python members. However, his health had begun to decline. Years of smoking, a demanding lifestyle, and the stress of an industry that never fully understood him had taken a toll. On December 2, 1982, while in Mexico, Marty Feldman suffered a massive heart attack. He passed away at the age of just 48. His sudden death shocked fans and colleagues alike. Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder, and many of his contemporaries mourned the loss of a comedian who had been unlike any other, a man who could make the world laugh with just a glance. The lasting legacy of Marty Feldman. Though his time was cut short, Marty Feldman left behind a legacy that continues to inspire comedians today. His influence can be seen in the physical comedy of performers like Jim Carrey, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, and many more. His commitment to pushing comedic boundaries made him a trailblazer in the industry, and his work remains beloved by those who appreciate truly unique humor. Marty Feldman wasn't just another funny man. He was a visionary, an outsider who refused to conform, and an artist who turned his own physical uniqueness into a tool for laughter. His career may not have followed the traditional Hollywood success story, but that was never his goal. He wanted to make people laugh his way, and he did. Though he is gone, every time we watch Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, or any of his other works, Marty Feldman lives on, making the world laugh one more time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible life of Marty Feldman, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to YouTube Pedia for more fascinating stories. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Your support helps us keep bringing you amazing content. Thank you.